Okay, I'm gonna try to give my quick thoughts on Benjamin Dixon show 556, the one that Nick Vick, host of Conquering Thought, had his issues with. He was just pissed off about it. You should go check out his channel, Conquering Thought. That'll be in the description below. Here's the thing. Benjamin Dixon caught the ire of him because Benjamin Dixon was citing that all white people should suffer based on what has happened in South Africa. The apartheid there was no different than Jim Crow, no different than pre-civil rights era, which was a long era. Not really that. Basically, brutalized indentured servants is what the black South Africans had become. So when the wealthy whites left, they left behind the whites that were not in the loop. So now they're impoverished. And so you wonder, why would Benjamin Dixon, why would he say that? Well, you know what? It's fun to see them. Well, he didn't say it, but you can he alluded basically it's fun to see them suffer. It's equality. It's what they deserve. They've earned it and stuff. You know, why? You know, why do they all have to suffer? And why is it joyful for them to suffer this, you know, their poverty and things like that, you know? And he says that it's equality. Here's what people need to understand, okay? Because a lot of people, white people in general for this will say, why should I suffer based on what white people did ages ago? And if it were that only, yes, you've got a great hill to stand on. You've got the greatest soapbox to stand on and yell from. And I would be on your side 1000%. But see, here's the thing. I have to compartmentalize where I stand. And I stand on the side of progressive, forward-thinking, non-racist white people. Do I know who you are exactly? No. I can say for sure I know who one is. And that's Nick Vick. That's Conquering Thought. I know him. I know Bernie Sanders is Jewish, so I can't say him. I don't even know Bernie Sanders. So I'm just saying I can't say all, but I can definitely say some white people don't deserve to suffer based on what others have done in the past before them. But why should they suffer? Those who are suffering, why should they in South Africa? And now you have to understand this. This is pinpoint. The reason it's fine and it's almost a jubilee for them to suffer is because it's not because of the colonials that invaded. You know, they colonized, they destroyed and uprooted, they razed their civilization, the black African civilization to the ground. No, it's not that. See, they were vile, they were mean, they were ruthless, and they caused a lot of damages that carried on for centuries. It's up to this day. But should the ones in South Africa suffer now? Yes. Why? Why should they suffer? Because they carry the mantle of those people. That's why. They carry the mantle. Should the descendants of slave owners and whatnot suffer here in the United States of the Americas? Should the descendants of them, should the relatives of them suffer blanketly? No, they shouldn't. But if those descendants harbor the same racist views or somewhere in the ballpark of those racist views, if they don't like black people just because, you know, they're black and they use whatever statistics they can to drive the narrative of disliking minorities of any background, then yes, they deserve to suffer. They deserve to be ridiculed. They deserve everything that happens to them. Everything. If someone in my family decided to go out and destroy and uproot someone's life and just, pretty much just enslave them, and then 10 years later they get out of it and I'm born and then they're jumping down my throat about it, and I'm like, hey, one, I won't there. Two, don't give a damn that it happened. It shouldn't have happened. And you're right to be pissed, but you're pissed with the wrong person. You should be mad at the one that did it to you, not the ones that disagree with it. That's where Benjamin Dixon loses me. That's where he loses Nick a Vic. That's where he loses, because he is saying that white people in the United States, white people in Europe, white people in Southern Africa, white people in Nova Scotia, Russia, or any other place should suffer because of what those in South Africa, those in the Confederate section below the Union at the time of Northern America. All white people should suffer because of what some have done. I mean, really, that's not progressive. You know, Benjamin Dixon wants to also talk about, it annoys me when I listen to his podcast and he says, you know, his little thing, it says, you know, and join the progressive army. I'm like, don't say join the progressive army. I've thought this for a while before this episode. This is probably back at 520 something. When I first started listening to him, but I was like, join the progressive army. What progressive army? I started going to the site and stuff, and there's nothing. There's no progressive army to join. You know what it is? It's just it's a website that is a melting point for all those who've already made it. It's basically an elitist site. And honestly, there's very few progressives out there. I know I'm progressive. Oh, you can go back and listen to all my stuff. I've wished death on all kinds of people of hate. People who don't want forward thinking, who don't want progressive things to happen. Progressive. It's a thing to go forward, not backwards, or just stand still where you are and think things are going to change. No, I want change, but I want it for the better. Not the better in my mind. Well, I think all white people should just die. That's not progressive. That's stupid. That's damn stupid. Progressive says, hey, if you're not harming someone mentally, physically, financially, if you're not, then go forward. You're cool. But if you are harming someone like that in any of those three ways, you're screwed, man. You're not progressive. And when it comes to these platforms that they go on, it's elitist. It's very elitist. Now, I'm just a little guy. Nick Vic, he's a little guy. And there's a bunch of little guys out there. The Texas Progressive, a little guy. We're all little guys. But we're not going to get heard. We're not. It takes a fan base. It takes people that pretty much sees things the way you do. I get that. But if you leave a comment on their channel, do they check it? No. If they see you, hey, you got a new subscriber. All right, check them out. That's what I do. And if I was getting 3,000 subscribers a day, okay, no, there's no way I would even turn off my notifications to even get subscribers. I would. But after I upload videos, you know what I would do? I would check them. I want to see the top thoughts. I would see who's leading those thoughts or whatnot. I'd probably check the first 10 or 13 or maybe 20 replies to the video. And I would be like, okay, let me respond or check on who these people are and get a little, see a few of their videos if they got any or whatnot. And if I thought they were in the same league as me in terms of my ideology, they have my ideology or something thereof, then I'd probably shoot them a plug. I would be like, hey, check out this person's channel. I'd be like, check out Conquering Thought. It'll be down in the description below. Check out the Texas Progressive. I'll put his down in the description below. And quite honestly, Texas Progressive got a lot of subscribers, but I still plug him. Why? Because he's trying to do a good thing. He's got a good heart so far. And something like that needs to be acknowledged. So when you go to those sites, all you see is people who've already made it. They've already made it. They're fine. So Benjamin Dixon has a luxury. He can get up there and say this stupid mess and call himself progressive when he's the furthest thing from it. Just because you say a few progressive things don't make you progressive. And there's no such thing, there's no litmus, the really true litmus test to be a progressive. But damn, saying that a whole race of people or someone that shares the complexion of a race of people need to suffer based on the actions of a few or in the grand total, some, you're not progressive. You're not. And when you tell people to join your site, no, in other words, give me your money, but we don't acknowledge you. No, that's not cool. Oh, we'll acknowledge you if you pay me on Patreon. That's not cool. You can even, hey, am I a hypocrite in this? Go check out my other channel, CR Wrestling, Comparative Reasoning Wrestling. No, I'm not giving my things like I am up here. Nope, wrestling clips and stuff, and I do some commentary. And in my commentary, an upload of Kazuya Kitamura in New Japan Pro Wrestling, I said, hey, what should we call this chop? It's a new chop. I haven't seen it done like this before. So what should we call it? And others chimed in on it. So finally, I think one of Kitamura's Young Lion Cup matches, what did I do? Every single one of those suggestions I put in there every time he did a chop. It just so happened to match perfectly. And I'm happy about that. When I do my commentary up there, I mention where I get my ideals from. If someone says, hey, what do you think about this? Or such and such, and I do a commentary, I mention who started it. Like I did for this. Nick and Vic got a problem with Benjamin Dixon. I got a problem with Benjamin Dixon. I mentioned the little guy. I mentioned the big guy. I mentioned anybody so long as they're part of the subject, or they, pique my thoughts on things or enlighten me on something. Because I'm not an elitist. I'm progressive. Because this elitism here up on YouTube, what they're doing, I'm gonna call them out. Kyle Kalinske, Jank Uger, Benjamin Dixon. Because Jank, I'll be honest with you, I ain't paying $1,000 just to be able to have a conversation with you. My opinion don't matter, and you leave away with my money and nothing better than that. That's not happening. Tom Hartman, I like you. I listen to you too. But you know something? I'm not giving you $1,000 to $5,000 or $10,000 to fly out there where you talk to me about your ideals and your beliefs and mine don't matter because I'm not you, and the best you'll do is sit down and have some pizza with me. No, that's not making it. That ain't happening. I'm not going to sit here and pay Benjamin Dixon, $10, $20, or $30, $50, and $100 or $150 just to have my name mentioned on this Patreon page. That ain't happening. Not happening. And Kyle, I'm not going to give you $2 just so you can make from your subscribers. If everybody gave $2, it's a cup of coffee. You keep throwing it out like that. It's just a cup of coffee. You're asking everyone to basically give you $2 million a month. You can't live on what you got now. You was doing fine before it. Do I want to get money? Do I want to get paid? Of course I do. But I'm not going to bullshit you about it. I'm not going to bullshit you. You know what, Kyle? You could easily just say $1. You know what? I'd be like, give me $1. A little stick of gum from the impulse aisle, and that'd be cool. This stuff ain't progressive. So long as and you're doing the same thing that what elitist capitalists do. I mean, I do declare I'm wealthy. You're not. Stay at the bottom. And then that's it. And that's what you're doing. All of you need to stop. Acknowledge the little people. Acknowledge those who are on top. Acknowledge those who are in the middle. Acknowledge those who are on the bottom. Wherever you get your thought from. Stop tweeting or regurgitating tweets from people who are just famous. If you see a nice tweet from someone that you don't know or whatnot, hey, mention them more than once a week or something. Do something different. I know this jumped off from Benjamin Dixon and whatnot, but it needs to be said. Because once you drop that elitist mindset, then you'll start to actually be progressive. Because right now, nobody's going to get their foot in the door and be heard if all you're worried about is the fact that you are being blacklisted, that you are not getting your subscriber count like you used to, that you are not getting the money revenue that you once made. Nobody is. And if you're not making it, those on the bottom damn sure ain't making it. And you need to think about that. That's all I got to say. If I missed anything, conquering thought, if I missed anything, you let me know. I'll do another upload and I'll add those things that I should. I thought I covered everything about Benjamin Dixon and his crap and going beyond that. I want to like Benjamin Dixon. I do. I just can't. I'm trying to not unsubscribe is what I'm trying to do. And I pretty much add my grievances. I burn bridges that aren't even built. So I could probably have killed my way from getting anywhere. But you know what? I thought I'd throw the truth out from my perspective, from what I've seen. That's why I call it an observational truth. It's what I've seen. It's not what I'm making up. It's what I've seen, and it won't stop. So that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you think about any given point or anything that I had to say. You know me. I will comment. I will definitely make maybe via video or something. That's what I do. Is what we all should do. That's how you get content. That's how you let them know, hey, you mean more than dirt. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.